The 7 is bad. The 8 is trickier. But 2 of a kind is even stickier on Card Sharks. And here's the host of Card Sharks, Jim Perry.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Welcome to Card Sharks. Happy to have you here with us. And as always, we appreciate you joining us at home. Thank you. A nice opening poem from Lillian Smith from the fine school, Tuskegee Institute in Alabama, watching us on WSFA Channel 12. Thank you, Lillian. Now we're going to open up the board and get to the cards. Go ahead. Janice and Lois, load in the cards. We're setting up for the tiebreaker with these Card Sharks. Shannon Lavelle. Hi, Shannon, our champion. Good to see you again.
Good to be here.
And again, won't you briefly tell us something about yourself?
Yes, my name is Shannon Lavelle. I'm 23 years old. I'm a secretary. I'm from Hawthorne, California, and I'm a sports enthusiast.
You're doing very well here. You're getting very comfortable with it, too, aren't you?
Trying.
You're enjoying it. Shannon has won $1,875 in cash. So, profitable stay. And Tom Belton is our challenger. Hi, Tom. Good to see you again. And again, won't you tell us about you?
Yes, I'm Tom Belton. I live in Huntington Beach, California. I work for the telephone company in Newport Beach. And my new activity for this year is I'm going to be roller skating. I think I said that yesterday. I think it's the new craze out here, and it's a way to get a tan, as I said, without having to lie in the sun and do nothing.
But you've got to lie in the sun in Huntington Beach.
Not if you roller skate.
No?
No, you can stand up in the sun.
Nice to have you back.
Thank you.
You're in a very tough spot. Both of you each have one game. We're setting up the tiebreaker. And as you can see, there are just 3 cards up there, 3 questions here. Someone very quickly is going to get a crack at the big money. As we left off, the question goes to you, Tom. Okay. Tom, we asked 100 men. Did you get your first lesson in love from an older, experienced woman? How many men did get their first lesson in love from an older woman?
Well, a lot of men probably would like to have lessons from older women. But I think I think most of them probably, if the first lesson was in high school and the girl was probably a little bit younger.
How many with the older woman?
So the number's going to be relatively small, maybe 20.
20 out of 100. Say it was an older woman, Shannon.
Well, I think maybe guys would want an older woman to kind of help them out since they don't know too much. I would say it's going to be a little bit higher.
You say
they
higher.
They need help, yes.
Tom says 20, Shannon says higher. The actual number of men who got their first lesson in love from an older woman is 31. Shannon is right. It is a little higher. Shannon starts off the tiebreaker with a 3.
Higher!
Higher than the 3. A 5.
Higher again!
If it's higher, Shannon goes for the big money. She goes for the big ace. Shannon wins it. Wow. Tom, thank you for coming back. You've got $100 in cash and some nice party gifts. Thank you for being here. Tom Belton. Shannon, come on down here. Well, you keep winning.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, Shannon, you have got to get some good cards with the money cards this time. I know before we went on the air, you cut the money cards in the event that you should win the match, yes?
Yes.
All right, let's hope these are the ones that are going to pay off big for you. So let's root Shannon on and come on up there and let's get to the money cards. Come on, Willem. Be careful and hop on up. Here we go. And with the money cards, we're going to give you $200 of new money. 3 cards to bet as you will on that level. Up to the second level, another $200 of betting money. 3 more cards. Remember, your minimum bet's $50 till you get to the top card, the big bet, where you must risk at least half the money. Good luck. Here's $200. You can change the base card on each level if you need to, Shannon. Thank you, Lois. We'll start with 200 and a 7.
Change that card.
You can only change it once. You must play this one. An ace.
All of it lower.
$200, the whole thing, that this is lower than the ace. It is with a jack.
$50 lower.
$50 lower than the jack. Right again for $50.
$50 higher.
Again, the minimum bet higher. And right again. $500. We move up to 7. Give you the other 200. You have 700.
Change that card.
And let's see if we can make another good change. The 7 or 5, a little better.
Okay, $100 higher.
100 this time. Higher than a 5. Right. Still around those middle cards, but you're up to $800.
$50 lower.
Let's see it much lower. Let's see a good one. Lower. Low enough. $850, and you're right smack in the middle.
I'm going to go $50 higher.
$50 higher than an 8. No. But again, with some very bad cards, you have $800, and we move up the 8, which you do not have to play.
Change that card.
Shannon, if ever anybody deserved a good card, you do. A jack. Fairly good. You must bet at least 400. You have a jack and 800. What's your big bet?
I'm going to bet half of that lower.
All right, come on, Shannon. $400. Lower than a jack. Yes! Shannon, you get lousy cards, but you play them beautifully. Another $1,200. Very nicely done. You had one good card in the whole mess and got $1,200 out of it. Shannon, you're up to $3,175 in cash. And our aerospace secretary continues her winning ways. We'll be right back with a new challenger after this.
Have you heard about the Internet's best bingo?
Call 1-888-USA-MESO.
Okay, Shannon. Janice will deal out 2 brand new decks of cards. Here comes a new challenger on Card Shark. Scott Poulter. Hi, Scott. I'm fine. How about you?
Fine, thank you.
Won't you tell us about yourself?
My name is Scott Poulter. I'm originally from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. However, I've lived in San Bernardino for about 9 months now. I drive truck, but I do that just because I can't make a living at my chosen profession. I'm a poet.
Oh, really? Now, I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, but do you have a poem for the show?
Glad you asked that. I did bring one, just in case I got on the show. How about this? I'm here to win, to beat those cards. Drawing deuces and aces can't be all that hard, unless, of course, they're followed by a pair. Now, that could put me off the air.
All right. You had something in your pocket, so I'm going to put you on the spot again. If you win, do you have a poem for that?
Yes, I do.
Somehow I figured.
My friends predicted 7s and 8s, my usual fate. But I'm drawing deuces and aces. Friends, I'll be home a little late.
Good to have you here, Scott. And good luck on the match to both of you. We start the best 2 out of 3, and we'll start with a question to Shannon. Shannon, we asked 100 pediatricians. Listen to this. 100 pediatricians. Has a mother ever called to ask you which end of the baby the thermometer goes in? How many pediatricians said a new mother has called to ask which end the thermometer goes in?
Well, hopefully new mothers are going to know all about what's happening and about their children. I don't think it's going to be quite that high. I'm going to go about 30.
30 out of 100 pediatricians have had that question, Scott. What do you think?
No, I think today you're getting girls 11, 12, 13 years old are becoming pregnant. And I don't think they know anything about having babies. This is a lot more common than most of us think. That's going to be even lower.
No, how many say they've had that question? Which end of the
Which
thermometer?
would call?
She says 30, yes.
Higher, much higher.
Sounded like that's where your thinking was going. 11, 12. The actual number of pediatricians who said a new mother is called to ask which end the thermometer goes in is 33. You're right, Scott. It is higher. Scott starts off the match with a jack.
Fair card. I'll go lower, Jim.
He'll play it lower? Yes, it's
Higher.
Higher than the 2 at 8. And we move over to Freeze Bar, and Scott got one of those 2s he was asking for, and he has the lead. Scott, we surveyed 100 women who are married to congressmen, and we asked them, deep down, do you wish your husband would give up politics? How many wives of congressmen said deep down they wish their husband would give up politics?
I believe that's going to be a high number because politicians spend an awful lot of time away from home, an awful lot of time politicking out of the state, out of their locale. They're leaving their wives alone too much. I'm going to say 67.
67 out of 100 wives of politicians, congressmen, said, yes, I'd like him to give up.
I'm agreeing with him. I think when, that's a trying on them. They're gone a lot, and I think they have a lot of work caused from them being politicians, too. The wives got to support them. I think it's going to be a little bit higher.
Even higher than
A
that?
little bit higher, yes.
A lot of agreement from the audience. The actual number of wives of congressmen who wish their husband would give up politics is 17. Very much lower. And that rather surprised me as well. Interesting. 17. Scott, you've got an 8.
Change the card, Jim.
Now
please.
you can get rid of that middle card with an 8.
Oh, great card. Lower, Jim.
Lower than the ace. A 4.
Higher.
For the first game of the match. Higher. Yes. Scott got some great cards. That his poem paid off with game 1. We'll be right back with game 2 after this.
Phone lines are up.
What do we need phone lines again for?
They're for viewers like me to call in and win on GSN Live. Did I win?
We're not even on yet. How did you get through?
Speed dial.
GSN Live. Live call-in and win games in between your favorite game shows. Premiering Monday, noon Eastern, 9 Pacific.
Well, I certainly didn't gain weight because I hate her.
Challenger, Janice is dealing out with the same 2 decks of cards, and we'll start game 2. If Janice doesn't drop one here, let's watch this here. Oh, well, she worked her way out of that. Okay, Jan. Here we go. Game 2 starts with a question to you, Shannon. Shannon, we found 100 divorced women who are receiving alimony from their ex-husband. And we asked them, if your ex-husband suddenly stopped paying alimony, even though he could afford it, would you be willing to have him thrown into jail? How many women would be willing to have their ex-husband thrown in jail?
Well, I think they need that money. You know, some of them aren't working, even though more women are working these days, but some of them aren't. They need that money. But I don't think they're willing to put their, husbands, they obviously cared for those people at one time. I think it's going to be kind of low. I'm going to go with 25.
25 out of 100 would put him in jail, Scott.
Oh, it's got to be higher than that, Jim. You're going to go through divorce. That means it led to something. You got a big fight. You can't stand each other anymore. Something's wrong. I think the number of wives would like to put their ex-husbands in jail if they did or did not send them the alimony. That's got to be higher.
You say higher. The actual number of women receiving alimony who would be willing to have their ex-husband thrown in jail if he stopped his alimony payments is 82. Oh, boy, is that higher. Yes. So Scott starts off game number 2 with a 5.
Higher, Jim.
Playing it higher at 10.
Lower.
Risking it lower. Oh, no, another 10. Back to the base card goes the challenger, and a break for you, Shannon, with a 4.
Higher.
Higher than a 4. And 6.
3.
And Shannon takes a 1-card advantage. Janice will fill in the spaces. The question goes to you, Scott. And, we've had a lot of questions. I hope you've been with us over the last few shows. We've had a lot of questions about the New Hampshire primary coming up tomorrow, as a matter of fact. This is the definitive question for the New Hampshire primary. Now, the primary is about to occur, so we asked 100 voters in New Hampshire. If one of the presidential candidates knocked on your door and asked to use the bathroom, would you let him?
Of course.
How many New Hampshire voters would let a presidential candidate use their bathroom?
Sure, I think if any average person that I know, if a presidential candidate came to the door, they'd let him use anything they had. That's got to be a high number. 83.
83. What do you think, Shannon?
I think people are pretty nice, and I think it's going to be a little bit higher.
Even higher than that.
People are nice.
The actual number of New Hampshire voters who would let a presidential candidate use their bathroom is 78. It is not higher. 78. But 22. Do you realize somewhere around New Hampshire tonight there are presidential candidates looking for a bathroom? Scott, you've got a 5.
I'll keep the 5, Jim, and go lower.
Lower?
I mean higher. I'm sorry, higher.
You could
higher.
go lower.
No, I want to go higher.
That would be way against the odds. Higher? Yes.
I'll risk it and go higher, Jim.
Higher than a 6. An 8.
Freeze.
Now, as he goes up the middle, we move over the freeze bar. That's got to be the ultimate political question. Shannon, we found 100 top business executives. These men are the heads of some of the country's largest corporations. And we asked them, if 2 women were equally qualified to be your new secretary, you are a secretary, right? Business executives. If 2 women were equally qualified to be your new secretary, but you found one of them very sexually attractive, would you hire her? How many business executives would hire the woman they found sexually attractive?
Well, if they're equal, that's a tough question. But I think that's going to give them the edge, maybe. Those will influence, sex comes and plays a lot of parts sometimes with decisions. I think it's going to be a high number. I'm going to say 78.
78 out of 100. Say all things being equal, they'll hire the one they're sexually attracted to.
I think even if they weren't equal, the one with the sex appeal would get the job. It's going to be higher, Jim.
Higher than that. The actual number of business executives who would hire the woman they found sexually attractive is 62, not higher. Shannon. Maybe their wives help them in the hiring process. Shannon, you got a 6.
Change that card.
Now she can change it. A great change. A 3.
Higher.
Higher than a 3. A 7.
3.
Now as we move over the freeze bar, I say, now as we move over we have a tie. Each player needs 2 cards where it's sudden death. Someone has to win it right now. Scott, we asked 100 third-grade kids, are your new clothes always a little big because your parents want you to grow into them? How many third graders said their new clothes are always a little big because their parents want them to grow into them?
That's got to be a fairly high number, too. Kids grow out of clothes so fast that parents are constantly spending money on new clothes. Also, a lot of kids got bigger sisters, bigger brothers, are passing clothes down. They're going to be bigger. I'm going to say 80.
80 out of 100 say, yeah, they're wearing clothes that are a little big for them.
I think that a lot of them probably do, but if it was my kid, I want to make them happy. I'd give them what they wanted. I think it's going to be a little bit lower.
A little bit lower?
Yes.
This will decide control and sudden death.
Lower.
The actual number of third graders whose new clothes are always a little big because their parents want them to grow into them is 67. Shannon is right. It's a little lower. Now, Shannon, it is sudden death. You're both near the middle. You need 2 cards. Scott needs 2 cards. You could, of course, change it if you wanted. You have control. Play or pass.
I'm going to pass it.
Scott, starting right up the middle with an 8. Turn them both over. You win. But if you make one mistake, Shannon has the game, and she ties it up. You've got an 8.
Okay, Jim, higher.
Higher than the 8. It is a queen.
Lower, Jim.
If it's lower, we have a new champion. We do. And Scott wins it in sudden death. Shannon, we have to say goodbye. Done very well. You're a fine champion. Leaving us with $3,175.
Thank you so much.
Shannon. Shannon Lavelle. And Scott Holter, come on over here. Congratulations.
Thank you.
The poem's paid off. Whichever side you'd like to go, Scott. We'll be right back after this commercial break with the money card.
I knew something was going on next door.
That's what our new champion, Scott Holter. You know, before we get to the money cards, we mentioned from time to time about coming down and joining us in the studio audience, and with Gene Wood as official cheerleader, we do have a lot of fun. But I must say, this last commercial break was one of the most enjoyable we've ever had. We had a madrigal group from La Cañada High School entertain us during this break, and they were just wonderful. You really were. Scott, you ready to go to work?
Yes, I am.
Let's get to the money cards. Come on, Scott, hop up. Here we go. You know how to do it, of course.
Yes, I do.
We're going to deal out 7 cards there and give you $200 on each of the first 2 levels. Doesn't sound like a lot, but if you can go double, double, double all the way to the top, it's $28,800.
Let's go.
Love to see you do it. Come on,
sure
Scott.
would like to do
I
it.
know you'd write a poem for that.
I sure would.
Here's $200.
I'll write 2 or 3.
You can change the base card on each level, remember? Thank you, Lois. We'll start Scott off with 200 and a king.
A king. Good card, Jim. Good card, Jim. Lower. $200, all of it lowered.
All right, got carried away there with the king, right? The whole thing. $200 that this is lower than the king. It is.
All right.
400 near the middle.
$50 lower.
$50 lower than the 9. Right again.
All right.
Still near the middle.
That card. $50 higher.
50 higher than a 7. No. 400. A pretty good card, though. The 4. We move it up and give you the other 200. You have 600, Scott. Do you want that 4?
I'm going to keep the 4. I'm going to keep the 4 and go $300 higher.
Half of it, $300 higher than a 4. Right.
An 8.
900 and an 8.
$50 lower, Jim.
50 lower than that middle card. He's right. 950.
$50 higher.
Come on, let's see a biggie. Higher. All right. For the nice $1,000, we pick up an ace.
All of it. All of it lower.
Come on.
All
$2,000 lower.
All right.
That's super. Nice. You held back with the bad cards, and when you got the good one, you had some money to go with it. Very nicely bet, Scott. Nicely done. Good job. $2,000, 200 in the game, $2,200 for our champion. We'll be back with our much richer poet right after this.
Men, such simple creatures, pecs, because when your legs feel better, you feel better.
Okay, Scott, let's meet a new challenger. Janice is going to deal out 2 brand new decks of cards. Here comes our next player on Card Sharks. Lois Davidson. Hi, Lois. Nice to meet you. We are running out of time, so very quickly, if you'll tell us where you're from and get you comfortable and get you playing.
Okay, my name is Lois Davidson. I'm from Huntington Beach, California.
Okay, and we'll find out more about you in the next show, but right now I know you're eager to get started, so here we go. Best 2 out of 3, we start with a question to Scott. Scott, we asked 100 men who subscribe to Playboy magazine. Would you subscribe to Playboy even if there were no nude pictures? How many men claimed they would subscribe to Playboy even if there were no nude pictures?
No, Jim, I subscribe to Playboy magazine. I read the articles. I think you got some of the best writers in the country writing for Playboy magazine. But I think the average man who subscribes to Playboy magazine does it for one reason, and that's those pictures. Low number, 30.
30 out of 100 would subscribe anyway, Lois. What do you think?
I think that number's going to be higher because there is a lot of very good writing in there. I'm a journalism major, and I know that magazine has probably the best writers in the country. So I'm going to say that number's higher.
Higher. A pretty good commercial for Playboy between you two. Scott says 30. Lois says high. I know I've heard all the stories about the cartoons, but let's find out. The actual number of men who would subscribe to Playboy, even if there were no nude pictures, is 24. Not higher, it's lower. Scott. And Scott starts off the match with a 4.
4. Higher, Jim.
Higher than the 4.
All right, lower.
Lower than the queen. A 6. 3. We move over the freeze bar, and now Scott has a good head start on game 1, needing 2 cards, while Lois needs 4, and we don't have time to play anymore. We did want to get you started in the match there, Lois, okay? You're comfortable with us?
Yes.
Okay, Lois and Scott will be back with us to finish this match on our next Card Sharks. As always, we thank you for joining us. Do come down. Join us sometime. Gene will tell you how to do it, and I'm going to say bye-bye for now.
If credit